Published 0550 Est. 7 November 2017. Updated 0819 Est. 7 November 2017. Philip Bull, 90, has avoided a jail term after he ran over and killed two women when he accidentally stepped on his car's accelerator. Relatives of two women knocked down and killed when a 90-year-old man mistook his car's accelerator for its brakes were left furious today after the pensioner walked free from court. Retired Philip Bull was dropping off his 87-year-old wife for a doctor's appointment at a hospital when he accidentally accelerated whilst reversing his green Ford Focus into a parking space. The vehicle suddenly spun out of control and ran over Claire Haslam, 44, and Deborah Clifton, 49, who were walking outside Withington Community Hospital in Manchester. Miss Clifton was crushed under the wheels of the vehicle and passed away later in another hospital despite members of the public lifting the vehicle off her. Her partner also suffered multiple crush injuries in the impact and died shortly afterwards. At Manchester Crown Court today, friends and family of the two women wept and shouted in the public gallery as Bull was given 2-year jail term, suspended for 2 years, for causing death by dangerous driving. One man shouted, "The justice system is S," while a woman said, "I hope he lives a long time to regret this. I hope he thinks about them every day." Outside court, Ms. Clifton's tearful sister, Julie, said she was angry and devastated by the sentence, insisting Bull had not apologized to them. Deborah Clifton left and Claire Haslam right after Bull's car span out of control. She said, "We lost another sister 4 years previous to this, so it makes it even more devastating losing Debs. We haven't had justice because they kept going on about him, about how he is 90 and his wife and what a great life they have had. My sister isn't even going to see 50, they had so much left to live for." His defense barrister said how remorseful he was, but he has never once directed that at the family. "That's the least he could have done, to address us and apologize, but he didn't even do that. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you cause death by dangerous driving." The maximum prison sentence for causing death by dangerous driving is currently 14 years in jail, but the government is planning to raise it to life imprisonment, making the offense equivalent to manslaughter. Bull's car outside Withington Community Hospital after the crash in March this year. Passing sentence Judge Martin Walsh told Bull the angry reaction to freeing him was understandable, but added, "I'm quite satisfied you would, if you could, turn back the clock. It was a genuine and catastrophic mistake. I ask myself what an immediate sentence of imprisonment achieve and whether immediate imprisonment would genuinely be in the public interest. It will not serve as a deterrent to you or others. It will not, as I have said, put right the harm that has been done. Whilst it would of course be a harsh punishment, the fact is that you will live for the rest of your life in the knowledge that your unintended actions on this occasion resulted in the death of 2 people. That is your burden to bear." Bull, who is carer for his wife of 65 years Audrey as she suffers from Alzheimer's, was said by onlookers to be in a confused state in the moments after the impact. Ms. Haslam left from chest injuries after the crash. Ms. Clifton right in hospital. The grandfather, from Wythenshawe, Manchester, later said he thought he was pressing his foot down on the brake and not the accelerator, and in his subsequent panic carried on inadvertently pressing down on the pedal. He confessed, "I cannot think of any worse way to come to the end of my life, having ended the lives of others." The court heard the pensioner had no medical grounds to stop driving despite his advancing years and had a clean driving license. Bull's lawyer said it was a tragedy for him as well as the victims and their families, describing the crash, which happened at 2 p.m. on March 7 this year. Prosecutor Miss Sarah Johnston had told the court he began to turn the steering wheel but then suddenly accelerated. There were pedestrians using the footpath and 2 partners, Deborah Clifton and Claire Haslam, could be seen walking together. The vehicle by now was at lock and the speed of the car was increased. The rear of the car knocked down a metal barrier and then Claire Haslam, hitting the wall and knocking her to the ground. The prosecutor added the defendant was still driving the car and the car then span with the accelerator still being applied and the car continued to travel backwards. The accelerator was pressed firmly down at this point and the rear of the car collided with Deborah Clifton as she was trying to get out of the way. Deborah Clifton became trapped as the car continued to reverse before hitting the wall and coming to an abrupt halt. Ms. Haslim D. from chest injuries at the scene. Shocked witnesses managed to lift the car off Ms. Clifton, who died in hospital. In mitigation, defense lawyer Richard Varden said Bull was hugely remorseful and added, "It is immediately tragic for the victim's family and friends, but I don't think anyone can deny this is a tragedy for the defendant and especially for his wife who he cares for. It is very easy to think this accident has something to do with his age, but my submission is that it does not." This was the scene where Bull accidentally reversed his car over his two tragic victims. To defense lawyer added, "This is a case of foot displacement and was the single cause of this tragedy. He misapplied the accelerator more forcibly because he believed he was pressing the brake and not the accelerator. This is nothing to with the age of the defendant and is not an uncommon phenomenon. He pressed the wrong pedal and panicked. He understands the impact and the gravity of the offense and he feels great sadness for the victim's family. But in terms of sentence, there is no need to send an elderly man to prison. This is an exceptional case."